They said, then why are you being humiliated in front of this slave? That if a person was to look at him, he would look down upon because of his physical appearance. But as we know, that even rulers were humiliated in front of this black man. So Ata was from the senior scholars of the Tabi'een. And in this point, I want to mention something very important about Ata. We're going to be discussing his sifat, al-jismiyya, how his appearance looked. And the reason we're going to be discussing it is because it's very important in the times that we live in now. Ata ibn Abi Rabah, of course, was one that was black. And it was said that he was extremely black. That if he was to sit down, it would be like a crow sitting down. Also from his characteristics, or his sifat al-jismiyya, was that Ata was one that was snub-nosed. And also he was one that was crippled. And he was one that was paralyzed from the right arm. All of these, if we look at it in today, Ata would be considered someone disabled. Ata would be considered someone that if a person was to look at him, he would look down upon because of his physical appearance. But as we know, Ata is one that Allah favored and uplifted him to the extent, and inshallah we will touch upon that, that even rulers were humiliated in front of this black man. This man whose form, with his disability, rulers would come and be humiliated in front of him because of the knowledge that he possessed. So Ata was one, despite all of these disadvantages physically, in terms of being crippled, in terms of being paralyzed from the arm, in terms of being one that was low in society because he was a slave, all of that did not get in the way of this man going to learn and seeking knowledge. And what we understand from this, my brothers and sisters, is that all the obstacles can be in your way, regardless if laws are put in place to prevent you for something, regardless, and they are unjust laws, and regardless of what society thinks of your appearance, or regardless of what culture says about X, Y, and Z. Your Lord is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He's the King of all kings, Al-Fattah, who will open all ways for you. Nothing can get in the way of you achieving your goal. So Ata never thought to himself, I'm a slave, I'm previously owned, I find it difficult to walk. With all of this, I'm not going to make it nowhere. He went and he sought and he strove and he found what he strove for. So you, regardless of what obstacles you feel like are blocking your way, know that your Lord is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And no law, no government is going to prevent your goal if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allows it. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that it is possible one that is disheveled in appearance, that the people, if they see him, that they close their doors on him. If this person took an oath by Allah and he said, "Oh Allah," and he took an oath, then Allah would fulfill that for him. If this person took an oath, Allah would fulfill that for him. Also, the Prophet ﷺ said, Allah does not look at your forms and your bodies, but rather Allah looks at your hearts, and in another narration, Allah looks at your actions. So a person could be one that people do look down on him in society, but wallahi, my brothers and sisters, you don't know this person whose form is not appealing to you, or one that is looked down according to society, that if he was to raise his hands, that Allah would accept his dua for him. So Ata strove and he found, until this day, he's a reference in the books of tafsirs. And he's one that cannot be avoided, that you have to take as a reference. His two sons, they were amazed, they were shocked. Why were they shocked? They said, "Oh my father, are you not the leader of the Muslims?" He said, "Yes." They said, "Then why are you being humiliated in front of this slave?"
Hey guys, I really hope that you benefited from that video. Before you go, I want to ask you a really important question. Have you guys ever thought about studying Islam and seeking knowledge? If not, then I want you to reflect upon this hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. The Prophet said that seeking knowledge is obligatory upon every single Muslim. Of course, that doesn't mean you have to be a scholar, but you have to know the basics in order for you to be the best possible slave and worshipper of Allah that you can possibly be. So we decided to provide a solution for this. You see, many people want to study, but they don't have the means or the resources to do so. So we set up an online institute called the Knowledge College, where you can study Islam from the comfort of your own home. So if you want more information on the Knowledge College and you'd like to sign up, go to the link below, check out the website, and hopefully we'll see you on the other side. Assalamu alaikum.